back here on Twitch or on YouTube to the coverage of the Newbie and the Beast tournament that I'm hosting. We're back here with the high-elo bracket, and just as a reminder, that is being played as a single round robin of best of threes, with every team facing each other once. So if you want to avoid any spoilers for the first two matches, that was MBL Dragon versus Alexander Mihai, and Alexander Mihai versus Master James and Emu Warrior. Those two matches, if you want to avoid spoilers, click away now. Otherwise, we'll be covering the third match today that was played in this bracket, and that was Mihai and Alexander. Yet again, they have been very active, which I am happy about, against ciskhan and GaeLife. So that is a Romanian team versus a French team, at least according to the information that I could find. That being said, now to the spoiler part. Mihai and Alexander, they've started 2-0 into this tournament, only dropping a single map so far. So they're really on a good run, and if they're able to win this match and the next one, then they would be secured, locked in #1 winner of this group, of this bracket, and secure first place for them, which would be the biggest prize money. Of course, places 2 and 3 also get prize money, but yeah, that #1 spot, that would be a great result for Team Romania. On the other side, ciskhan and GaeLife, we've not seen them yet at all in this tournament, so we'll see how prepared they've come, or well these rules suit them perhaps, and how good a fight they can put up against our new favorites here in Mihai and aleksanderG. That being said, one last look here at the bracket. These are the 5 teams that are playing, and again, just to recap everybody on the results, Dragon and MBL are currently at 0-1. aleksanderG and Mihai are at 2-0. Master James and Emu Warrior are at 0-1 as well. And the other two teams on the right here, we haven't seen play at all. They are still at 0-0. So, Team Romania being the favorites here, proclaimed by myself. Let's see how they can fare. It is a best of 3, and as always, the first match is going to be a 2v2 on Nomad. After this, both teams then, well, would play 2 1v1s. The newbie players and the beast players in both teams facing off against each other. But we'll get there when we get there. So for now, let's kick this series off with the first game here on Nomad. And right off the bat, we can already see some fun stuff going on. There's chatting, these guys acknowledging each other, and there is, whoa, what a threesome down here. What a threesome, am I right? Who's the unlucky guy? Well, Mihai is all the way over there on his own. That is a good or bad omen, depending from which side you want to look on it, because he has been absolute king on Nomad in this tournament so far. Excuse me, my throat's really giving me some trouble here. All of a sudden, but yeah, that means that ciskhan and GaeLife, Team France here, they are in a 2v1 scenario where maybe they can punish aleksanderG, who is completely separated from his teammate here on the west, all alone. Maybe let's throw up a civilization info real quick. We have Burmese and Malians for the Romanian team, and that is surprising because we haven't seen them play either of these civs in this tournament yet. So let's see how they'll fare here. Also not the most traditional Nomad civs, at least not in my elo. I can say that much. Burmese is a civ that I think is pretty cool. I love myself some Burmese any day of the week. I love the infantry attack bonus. Free lumber camp tax is amazing too, because of course you get that, well, even on Nomad, I mean, you might not even have lumber camps to get lumber camp upgrades by the time you get to feudal age, so the attack coming in for free is pretty neat, really, in this map especially. Also, you get some extra vision. If we check out their perspective here, we can see where the relics are at, so that is a nice little bonus, not too decisive, but still. And cheaper monastery tax, I love that bonus as well. If you're playing monks, which admittedly you're not going to play monks every game, but if you're playing monks, you're saving a ton of gold with that 50% cost reduction. Even simply on the castle age tax, right? If you get sanctity and fervor, that's already a good amount of gold saved. And so that really, I love the bonuses there for the Burmese. Rambai also always a fun unit to play around with. Then on the other side, Mihai, he's been booming ahead and beasting through these Nomad 2v2s quite hard in this tournament already, and he's got the Malians for this one. Well, we'll see how he does with them. They are also a decent civ for this map because they save a lot of wood on their buildings, and that's really nice, of course, on water maps. And it seems like excuse me. It seems like there was a successful wall in here by Mihai, able to trap a ciskhan's villager between the docks here in a very awkward spot, actually. They went for some really interesting dock placement here, right next to each other, actually. That is super funny to look at. And, well, looks like this villager here from ciskhan is not going to get out for the time being. So, unfortunate there. Yeah, so just to finish off the Malian recap, they're pretty cool, right? Extra, you save that wood cost, pierce armor on your barracks units. Not sure if that's going to be too massive, but even in, for example, pike against skirm matchups, that's already pretty helpful in those types of fights. So the bonus can come in handy even if you're not really playing for infantry. Totally. And then, of course, that gold bonus, that well-known Malian gold bonus, really nice. You get more gold, it lasts longer, all the good stuff there. So, yeah, decent civ, interesting civ. We'll see how it works out here. Really, the wood bonus is the one I want to emphasize, though, for this type of map. Let's check out the other two civs as well, though. For the French team here, the debut for them here in the tournament. How can they make their mark? Lithuanians we have seen a couple of times already, and Mayans on the other side as well. Okay, well, Mayans too with an extra starting villager. Usually a nice little eco lead to begin the game with. Longer lasting res also not a bad thing on a map where sometimes res can run a bit short, especially if you're getting pressured. Cornered in, and then the archer cost reduction in the same vein. Saving some wood and gold on that maybe allows you to get a bit more ships out. That coupled with a perfect blacksmith, if you ignore the stable or the cavalry tax, of course, should make for a decent nomad civ as well. Lithuanians, I think we've already talked about enough here in this tournament coverage, so I don't need to go too deep on that. Just extra food, real nice. You get all the text that you need for ships, right? And yeah, just the opportunity there to get rather fast feudal age timing. Always the feudal age time, the most impactful thing when it comes to who wins the water in feudal age. Getting the early uptime there can help a lot. Now this is a mess. This little brawl here over the deer. I mean, what's going on there? It's a 4v4. And it seems like aleksanderG really not afraid to get his hands dirty against ciskhan here, who is supposed to be the beast player, right? So him being forced to back off here. A little show of force by aleksanderG is not going to be intimidated, even though this is a 2v1. So not the easiest. Especially Burmese against Lithuanians, I'm interested to see how that would play out just in a 1v1 in Arabia even. Because the two civs that like the monasteries as well, that like to play around relics maybe. That alone, not a bad matchup, and especially when you know where all the relics are as the Burmese, that should help play against the Lithuanians as well, in a more traditional sense. On this type of map, it is going to be pretty chaotic, so we're not expecting like the typical 1v1 matchup, of course. Then we're going to have a mill. No No fear at all here from ciskhan, who's going to be up to feudal age here as well. Just drops the mill there. We saw just a second ago Mihai also reached feudal age, so he's going to play for that water, having trapped that villager in there. Pretty unfortunate for ciskhan, means he's going to have to stay on one dock here unless he wants to send a villager out. But his TC in the very middle of the map means he's gonna have to walk very far if he wants to get to the water and drop a second dock. That might make it a bit difficult to contest here, as Mihai comes out with the first fire ships. Having that double dock should make it pretty good for him to fight this. Galleys actually queued up by ciskhan. He's not going to get a meaningful number of galleys to be able to take out these fire ships. Maybe he's just looking to snipe some fish. We'll see how he plays this. At home, ciskhan walling off here a little bit. Well, this is just awkward. We have the buildings there from two players. Ultimately, aleksanderG forced to back off of this. And so, as the last two players also reach feudal age, GaeLife and Alexander, we're expecting fast castles out of them. GaeLife already with a lot of extra food. Oh, Jesus. Will he have enough wood to even drop his buildings? Yes, he's already got them coming. Okay, these are all competent players. So, not too bad. Actually, funny little Belgian flag over here, right? The black, yellow, red. Little Belgian flag on the minimap. We'll see. Keep an eye on how that evolves throughout the game. Yeah, there we have it. The two galleys pop out from ciskhan, but he's gonna have to run a long time in micro if he wants to take out these fire ships, and I don't think that is going to happen here, as the fast castles are on the way virtually at the same time here for the Mayans and for the Burmese. So let's see what they'll do with that. We're gonna see castle drops out of both of them, unsurprisingly. They are right next to each other too, right? We have the red player and the gray player here, who are going to get that castle time, and I wonder where the castles are going to come. For the Mayans, I'd like it down south here, or just right on his face. If I'm the Burmese, I wonder where I'm dropping it. Maybe I'm trying to get it here down in the south to secure the res that are down there, but it's already dropping a tower there. I'm not sure what he's thinking. Maybe here in the north, more so to pressure ciskhan with it as well, and maybe secure those northern resources. That could also be an option for a castle spot. Okay, all that being said, Mihai now also coming out with a few galleys, and his fish is still alive. No fishing ships left for ciskhan, just the 6 for his teammate. Now still over there, but there comes Mihai already with the galleys to try and snipe that. GaeLife comes out with a fire galley of his own, but I don't think he can afford to really go heavily into water here if he wants to pressure on land against aleksanderG, but maybe he feels that castle alone would be enough. There are the castle ages coming in, and we see the castle drop right on the TC, and then here in the north, just like we said earlier, that Belgian flag there getting a bit messed up, and, well, Mihai for the time being beaten back by that one fire ship, but for how long? We'll see. Oh, it is getting messy here. The house was actually being destroyed. That is a good move by ciskhan. He's delaying this castle by a lot, and I actually think it might have trouble going up. There's still this house that he could delete, ciskhan, in order to get onto these villages, but it seems for now he's just beating back the southern ones, just buying a bit more time for this castle to go up, while he's making sure his teammates' castles finishing first. And so both of these castles are going to go up. Good Vodkin arrow purchase also for the Mayans, with the plumed archer already out here, making this pretty painful, but finally the castle is also able to be completed by aleksanderG. He's still in a 1v2 here. His job is going to be pressure ciskhan if at all possible, and hold on in the 1v2 for as long as possible while Mihai grows humongous. That is what I assume happens here. I mean, Mihai has carried games on this map before. Let's see if he can do it again. And, well, those are the castles up for now. It doesn't look like anybody's looking to drop another castle anytime soon. And Mihai getting a ton of upgrades here. He doesn't seem concerned with getting up to castle age immediately, but soon enough he's going to get that click in. Whereas for ciskhan, he seems to be a little bit away. He's got a lot of gold, and now getting harassed by that one I ran by here. Wow, it really stands in that one tile where it can't be hit by the TC. Ooh, and this house wall, or this palisade wall hasn't actually come up yet. So a second Arambai is able to get in here, and that makes it real awkward to mine gold here. The villagers, the townfolk is being sent in, but look how much damage they are taking. This is so amazing for aleksanderG. Look at the damage! Oh, it's horrible! Ciskhan has to pull all these villagers, but look how they're being shredded to pieces, and there's more Arambai still coming out. Oh no, is there any return damage down south? Not really. I mean, the TC is being taken out. That is great, of course. But this is horrible. For ciskhan, he's down to 19 villagers on land. Frantically tries to get that house wall up, but it just isn't happening. These villagers are getting completely hacked to death by these, whatever these Arambai are throwing. I'm not actually sure what that is. Finally, he seems to have gotten the house wall up, but even that doesn't seem too tanky, and the TC is going to go down. Wow, I really feel like ciskhan has taken even more damage than aleksanderG here. Where's aleksanderG's villagers actually at here? Almost all of them are down south and here on the wood line. Double monastery now from ciskhan. How can he bounce back from this? He's trying to convert a few of those Arambai. That would be valuable, but is going to lose another villager as his TC goes down. Wow, this is massive. This trade that aleksanderG just took here, it might have just won them the game. Like, honestly, he gets the one Arambai converted, but he still has 4 in the map. And he says, fuck that TC, I don't need that as long as ciskhan doesn't have one. GaeLife won't be able to outboom and outplay Mihai in the late game, so aleksanderG probably feeling like, okay, if I'm useless, that's fine, as long as ciskhan's useless as well. And my god, it's 18 villagers for the Burmese here. Or no, sorry, for the Lithuanians. The Burmese, that of course is aleksanderG with his Arambai. And ciskhan got absolutely crashed there by the Arambai out of the castle. Didn't have the palisade wall up in time. That would have been so important. Now, with the cheap monastery tax, at least gold being all that he has, pretty much at this point. He's got some impactful monk army running around. Maybe gonna be able to. Oh no, sorry. I'm just getting confused. He doesn't have the cheap monastery tax. Of course, he's not Burmese. He's the Lithuanian. But yeah, Mihai in the orchard with the thanks. What is he talking about? Is he disrespected? I wonder what was being said or whatever. I didn't catch the context of this apparently. But yeah. Oh. It's going to be a double team onto Mihai. I think that's a good idea for the French team to try and move out. But is it too late at this point? We'll see. Good movement here as a lot of these mangonel shots are being avoided. Not too bad. And with redemption in, of course, these monks can push the mangonels back. It's going pretty deep with the monk, but good movement to keep it alive as well. ciskhan and GaeLife, they need to find some damage fast here. It's already like a double the villager numbers for the Romanian team. Is that mangonel going to be converted to here? It seems it will. And there he goes. Gets that conversion. That's not bad. That's going to be a few villagers going down there by Mihai. But he already has quadruple TC here. University on the way. Oh, goodness. Has to delete that mangonel in the end. And he's going for a tower defense now. That's the other mangonel here. Still super strong. And wow, Mihai, don't know if you want to take these shots like that. Arambai storming in to try and take out a few of these monks. Well, it's a bit awkward, but actually no conversions have come through. ciskhan goes for the heal instead, for the healing. And well, that wasn't too bad. Didn't lose a lot in 5 Arambai going down, so that was smartly played, I would say. But it's just, look at this. He's forced to keep 5 monks at home to be able to defend these villages if more Arambai were to come in, which they are right now. Gets 1 conversion there, not bad. But he's just stuck on his 18 villagers. He's not going to be a factor in this game, at least not beyond the monk play that he's able to offer right now, which isn't nothing, but it is, of course, so far subpar. And aleksanderG now, he's put up 2 townsenders. He's able to get villagers up and pressure the map. It's only a question of time until Romania overwhelms the opposition here, I have to feel like. I mean, honestly, it's going to be another castle drop here. This time, GaeLife trying for a forward castle onto Mihai, it seems. But where do you even drop it? You can try here, but the towers are there. I'm not sure about this. And Mihai, he just says, okay, game on. Goes for his counter castle, cancels it in the end, and now he's going to possibly move it a little bit further up and try to, yep, exactly, try to contest this castle there. This time around waits long enough for GaeLife to commit to this. So both these castles are going to be forced up in the end, I assume. Let's see, it's a bit of a tough one for Mihai to actually get this one to complete. He has to abandon it for now. There's a lot of plume dodges here, with archer padding in as well. Able to hold this castle off here. Meanwhile, on the other side, let's check this out at least. Ciskhan's gold economy is still alive, but the Rambai are still swarming around as well. And well, this forward is not bad, but the villager numbers are double for Team Romania at this point, so not too optimistic for France's chances in this one. A lot of monks on over here actually converting the buildings at this point. That is funny. Well, let's see what aleksanderG can or will do about this. Honestly, he should be okay giving over these buildings because he knows that Ciskhan doesn't have anything except for gold. So he can't even really produce out of these buildings anyways. It's of course annoying to lose them, but don't think you need to delete them either. Oh, okay. There goes the blacksmith. I feel like there was just a tech being researched there that might have been lost to this. Look at this. GaeLife now turning up the pressure a bit as well. Storms in with plumes over here and in the east as well. But I just don't see this getting any better for Team France, right? They're doing a good job with their army. They're doing as much as they can. But ultimately, even this castle might complete. And then on water, they're not able to contest at all. And Ciskhan is not able to expand. He's got 19 villagers right now. He must have converted one somewhere. Which is funny. That is the way he can expand. Let the opponent boom and convert those villagers, apparently. Not a bad strategy, not bad. And Imp is coming in actually for one player on both teams. Oh, interesting. Ooh, the conversions are actually coming in up here. 24 villagers, okay, Ciskhan, he's expanding by merits of converting here. Sadly, that's not going to be very permanent. And in danger of losing a few monks here as well. Well, the castle has gone up now for Mihai, and at this point, there's not even an angle for harassment anymore. I can't see how Mihai is getting pressured in this one anymore. They're trying with this castle race here, of course, to get to trebuchets, but Mihai will even be up to Imp faster, so there's no problem there. Yeah, even though some nice galley conversions seem to be coming in by Ciskhan, these monks are now going to be taken out by the light cavalry. That was a smart switch by aleksanderG, recognizing the only thing that Ciskhan was still contributing with these monks, and able to take out all of them in that spot. He can now even come in and storm this area if that is actually open. I'm not sure. Probably there's not a gap there. At least there won't be now as the house wall comes up. And the Rambai are also still being kept at bay for the time being. But yeah, there's just no future for Team France in this one. What an amazing play by aleksanderG in the 1v2, just chats it up. And with the Rambai completely takes Ciskhan out of the game. And Mihai up to him first. I should definitely do it for him here. He should be able to win the castle war at the back of this. On the back of this. And yeah, GaeLife is up now as well, able to queue up some trebuchets. Conscription here as well, nicely done, yep. Conscription in the back castle, trebuchets in the front castle. Nice and all, but how much is it gonna do in the end? Probably not a lot, but let's see. Defensive castle, interestingly. For aleksanderG against the monks, presumably. And yet more monks for Ciskhan. That is what he's relying on for now. Trebuchets coming out here on both sides. Actually very far back with the trebuchet here, completely out of range, is Mihai, so his trebuchet very safe, cannot be rushed down. And he's got his own light cavalry actually on the field right now. That's interesting. Both players tacking into that, and ooh, that's gonna be ciskhan completely out of the game here. Look at this, he's gonna lose all of these monks, and then the gold miners are gonna be next. His original gold source, of course, had run out, so really good job by Alexander actually tracking this down. There's no saving these guys. Oh no, all of them are gonna be picked up, and even the monks, they're goners now as well. Castle down by GaeLife. Both players actually losing their castles there. But I think Mihai is okay with this. Still, at least an even trade there. But all the villages have gone down. 13 vills left for ciskhan at this point. So I definitely respect the attitude here and the competitive mindset. Playing on for his teammate who's still in the game. But there's just no outlook on this one. Like cavalry once more storms in onto the monks. Ouch. GG called. And Team Romania still looking as strong as ever. Picking up that victory here. aleksanderG with an MVP performance this time around. Mihai not even having to do that much. Also GaeLife very impressive. Did a lot with his castle and his plumes too, but it was really difficult one after what happened to ciskhan early. We just got caught out just in time, just not in time when he tried to wall his gold eco off. He knew what was coming, but sadly just yeah, was a bit too late for him there. Well, apparently it really does happen to the best. Oh, hey in chat, aleksanderG, you're back here again. That was a sick game, being in a 1v2 and still, yeah, able to participate so hard in this game. Not bad, to say the least. And that's 1-0 for Romania again. So that I have to update it here. Okay, and I'll look for the second game in this series. Well, let's think about this logically. I wouldn't think you'd want to play GaeLife against Mihai, or sorry, ciskhan against Mihai, since Mihai really high elo guy. I think ciskhan is what, 2-3, 2-400 is what I believe he is. So, well, that is only 150, 200 elo below Mihai, but that is pretty big. And for the other two, well, aleksanderG versus GaeLife, the elo gap there is almost non-existent, at least according to my documents. They are pretty much the same elo. So I'd assume that is the matchup that they chose to play next. Let me see what files we have here. Yeah, that seems to be game 2. I'll buy that. So we'll load that up and get into that as soon as possible. Mihai and Alexander, they are up 1-0 in this series again already. Definitely looking like the favorites in this one. But Team France, they now get to choose the matchup that they want. And it is the newbie matchup. So aleksanderG against GaeLife. Malay against Spanish here on lowland. Just again, I'll always say this if you're not familiar with the rules for this tournament with the map selection. There are 4 maps in the map pool. That is lowland, enclosed and Arabia. Both players get to pick one map without, well, the opponent knowing which map that is. Then the maps are revealed, and if both players have selected the same map, that map will be played. If they have selected different maps, then neither of the maps will be played, and instead the last third map that was not picked by either one is going to be the one that is being played. We can't know what exactly happened here because I don't think the drafts were posted, but either way, they ended up on lowland, and Malay versus Spanish is going to be the matchup. For aleksanderG here, it is match point. He can secure the win in the series and a 3-0 series record for his team if he wins with the Malay on this one. And funnily enough, Malay and Spanish more classic, at least low elo nomad civilizations than anyone in the last game. But still good civs for regular maps as well. Strengths for the Malay. Definitely laying in their fast uptime. That'll usually give you an eco lead and also a timing lead. Priority over the opponent in terms of the early feudal, the early castle age, etc. Free armor upgrades, I've talked about this as well in the previous series, but really smooth upgrade, really smooth bonus to have in there. It just comes in handy so oftentimes, whether it's just for regular spearman defense, whether it's for karambit raids. There's really a lot you can use that for, so it's just really smooth. Sadly, the cheap elephant bonus is the one we see maybe utilized the least out of the melee bonuses, but maybe this is the game where we're gonna see it come into fruition. The other side, for GaeLife, a much less comfortable situation. It's a do or die game here. The start of this tournament for his team with a win. They'll need to win 2 games straight, both of these 1v1s. Starting with this one, and he's got the Spanish to do it with. Spanish also, we see here a lot of bonuses for them. My favorite one of those being that new one, the 20 gold for every technology research. It's just, I don't know, I just really like the bonus. It enables creativity in the builds, especially in feudal age there you can get some nice fast extra gold that other civs really don't get. But even throughout the game, I mean, 20 gold per tech, that adds up to quite a lot if you're getting a lot, and couple that with the perfect blacksmith that the Spanish have, and the fact that their blacksmith upgrades don't cost any gold, they can really make a lot of money off the back of that blacksmith. Alright, yeah, apart from that, of course, military-wise, the Spanish are known most of all for their gunpowder stuff, because they get that extra fire rate on the gunpowder. So whether it's cannon galleons, hand cannons, or bombard cannons, DPS on those is even crazier than it already is on generic ones. And my particular favorites, the missionaries, man. Inquisition missionaries, that's what we like to see. Hopefully we can see some monk play out of the Spanish here, although, well, I don't think Mihai or Alexander is going to opt into elephants here. If he was, we'd certainly see some nice Spanish monks, but that is not likely to be an option for him. Okay, well, into the game we go. Mihai here scouting forward a little bit early, interestingly. Most of the time on these land maps you'll see the good players send forward their scouts right around the time you get to feudal age, so they know if the opponent is going into stables, archery ranges, double barracks, or whatever. Alexander actually quite early with the scout forward here and takes a lot of damage from just one TC volley. That was a big garrison, but GaeLife giving him a big advantage in the scout encounter. Neither player has actually clicked up yet, but Alexander is about to do so, and look at the time for him. My goodness, melee bonuses, aren't I right? Well, actually has another villager queued up before this, interestingly. Oh, but there he goes. 21 villagers is going to click up, whereas for GaeLife, this looks like a fast castle build. It really does. Sadly for him, the gold is pretty far away here. So how is he going to get his gold? I'm not sure. If he hadn't, well, he could just get it off of the civ bonus, right? But that is not really realistic. 23 villagers. I'm pretty sure I've tested this. I'm pretty sure with a 23 villager Spanish feudal age, you can't get your castle age just off of the civ bonus, so you'll have to sell your stone possibly in order to get that gold for the FC. But that is definitely what he is doing here. The early farms in the late feudal age, gonna be an attempt at an FC. Let's see how that goes. Seems pretty risky against Malay, who have such a powerful feudal age. This is one of the civs I'd dare the least to do an FC against on an open map. But we'll see. I mean, you're at least relatively far away from your opponent on this map, so maybe it is doable after all. GaeLife not really fully walled yet at all, but he's going to work on that, hopefully at least. Militia forward by Alexander with that free armor upgrade. At least some bonuses being utilized with that. I'm not sure militia in particular do the most to deter an FC, but it's good to put early pressure of any sort at least. And there we see that higher HP scout from GaeLife come in, but his problem, That free armor that these militia have makes it so he barely does any damage. 3 attack on the scout and 1 melee armor, so 2 damage per hit. Not really a lot against these units, and his dome miners there now under pressure. Wow, they're taking a lot of damage here. Look at this. Really nice blocking coming in as well for Alexander, who now finally loses the scout. Good wall by GaeLife. He's going to keep that one alive on what? 3 HP. Okay, nicely done. And going to be able to take out the militia, or is he? Wow, a tower here actually forced out of GaeLife. That is an interesting one. He's now up to feudal age, but, well, look at his eco. It really doesn't look like a viable FC. So this is a weird and awkward start to the game for him, for sure. Forced to spend quite a lot to defend here, and the idle time can't be underestimated either. Now it's arches forward for Alexander. This seems indefensible. Or, well, I don't think indefensible is the right word in this context. This seems impossible to defend. And look at this. The archer is just going to come forward, or maybe not going to walk in here, but yeah, does a good job going around. He's going to be able to idle the wood line here. Another archer on the other side going to be able to pressure this. And then what is GaeLife going to do? They have... How is he even going to get to Castle Age? He doesn't even have any of the feudal age buildings yet. Wow, this seems so awkward. This seems so weird. How is he going to be able to pull it off? I'd applaud him if he was able to. So now, oh, he's got that market here, fair enough. The first castle, forced feudal age building is there. He's got the rest to click up. He must think he has the buildings already, right? 'Cause he's got no wood at all. He must think that maybe with the tower, he has the buildings already. Sadly, the tower doesn't count as a feudal age building in order to click up to castle age. So he is thoroughly screwed in this position, I gotta say. Oh, what a sad start to the tournament here for GaeLife and for ciskhan. They got so unfortunate in these first 2 games. My lord. Now the blacksmith comes out as the second building. It's just so late, this quote-unquote FC. He could have played a regular feudal age and wouldn't have clicked up much later than this. As you can see, Mihai already almost able to click up as well, and he's certainly done a lot more in feudal age to justify all of this. Well, now finally GaeLife is got the click up in, and he's gonna keep on collecting stone here. Most likely is gonna be able to drop a castle once he gets up. Actually, the stone barely suffices. The stone he has here barely enough to drop a castle after he sold so much in order to get up to castle age. Oh, but look at this eco. Is in such bad shape. He has no eco upgrades yet whatsoever. Half of his farms can't even work. A lot of villagers just standing idle here as well for some reason, and then on the farms. Man, this is such an unfortunate start. These 2 guys, I'm really feeling for them. Like, what happened to ciskhan on Nomad, and then this just botched fast castle by GaeLife that Alexander punishes very effectively is not the way you want to start into a tourney. Let's see how well GaeLife can fight on here. He's got 45 seconds left to castle age, and he has the stone to drop a castle almost ready. Let's see, there's 30 stone on these miners. Well, there he goes. He just buys the rest of it just to make sure he has enough. Well, then where is it gonna go? The castle is just gonna have to go, like, I guess, just on top of its base to stay alive, but he's not even gonna be able to secure any resources with it, I feel like. Fear even that stone here is not gonna be accessible. Oh, okay, the castle comes out over here in the east to secure the gold at least. And that is not going to be the... Why was the house foundation deleted? Was it destroyed? Maybe. But at least the castle is going to go up. Spanish builders work very fast. So, okay, he's got to his castle after all. Problem for him. Mihai, fast age up time with the Malay. He's also been able to reach castle age already. He's going to have crossbowmen here in castle age. Birkin arrow also on the way. Sure, conquistadors are really strong units, but against a group of crossbows, sure, maybe you can send out a couple conquistador to harass with, but I mean, to defend, that's a whole nother story. You'll need a siege workshop, I assume. for the Spanish here. Are we gonna get that? I'm not sure. Yep, there we go. We are. It's the reasonable, obvious choice. But, well, it seems like even the house wall might be broken into not too far in the future. Eco strapped extremely thin there for GaeLife. He needs that Mangonel, he needs the Conquistador, needs this win to stay alive in the series. Whereas Alexander, he's got the first of 2 match balls at the ready for his team. Would improve to 3-0 record in this tournament and be 1 series away from securing the gold medal, so to speak. Man, Mania have looked good in this one. What can GaeLife do to avert disaster? Crossbowmen are in. 9 of them actually. They're just suffering here. 1 being taken out. That's first blood. First villager blood. At least. Mangonel shot is really good. Wow, Alexander did not see that one coming. Possibly didn't expect that siege workshop, but that is good returns on that Mangonel already. And it's going to stay alive against the spearmen as well. The Conquistadors. Ooh, wow, that guy dodging out on the last arrow. 1 HP. Getting out of there in style. It's a really good trade army-wise for GaeLife. That's what he needed, to be sure. But Alexander was smart. He didn't bank this early castle age on a military engagement. He's got 2 TCs at home, and he's got the 3rd one already going up as well. So he's got his 12 village elite, regardless of the fact that he just took a bad trade military-wise. So, well, that was really nicely done. GaeLife, we see the KD 13-2. Nicely played here. But he's gonna need to destroy some economy now if he doesn't want to get straight out doomed over the next 10 minutes. Spanish from behind feels a bit bad here. Malay have had a lot of pressure. Okay. There we go. Conquistadors to the enemy base for the first time in this game. GaeLife is actually forward. He now finds out about his opponent's base layout. You'll see that the walls are complete here in the west. What he doesn't know is that in the east, actually, the base is entirely open. So it is possible to get in there. Monks now coming out for Alexander. I wonder if that is going to be his main unit against the Conquistadors. If I'm him, if I already have Botkin Arrow, I think I just do Elite Skirmisher against the Conquistadors. Or maybe he prefers Monk play. And no relics have been picked up yet. See some outposts to secure vision across the map. Not bad. Especially down in the middle here where all the resources are. It is called lowland after all. Good to have some vision there. Okay, well, his extra resources GaeLife has not picked up yet, actually. There's some extra gold and stone there that maybe he could wall off. He's not working on that yet. Instead, military engagement, but that is not fightable. Is he going to lose a Conquistador here to the conversion? Well, hopefully for him, he's going to be able to get out of there. Okay, dodges out on the last deadly crossbow salvos. More monks coming out for Alexander, so he doesn't really seem to be worried about getting into a lead skirmisher or anything. Extends the house wall now. Is this walled off to the edge of the map? It doesn't look like it, but there might be a palisade behind. Don't think it is, actually. So there should be a 1-tile gap, but good job by him noticing that. He's not playing around there. More Conquistadors going forward now. It's actually 11, but they're fighting uphill here, and monks are involved as well, so this is not a trade you want to be taking. You got to utilize the mobility somehow. Try to get around, but there's no way to get around because the base is now fully walled. There's 3 TCs working in there. At this point, I don't see how GaeLife comes back in this. Like, he would have to hope that his opponent now lets him freely boom up to Imp as well. And Elite Skirm is finally coming in. Interesting. A little bit late for my liking. But maybe long term when the Conquistador numbers get bigger, monks aren't really as viable a defense for that anymore. Do you want to have that option there? Again, it is the unit that I like as well as the answer. And Botkin is already in there, so it really doesn't require much more tax. That's a good amount of Conquistadors now, but is it enough to break into this base. Really doubt it. That mangonel is going to do wonders though in this trade. Good against skirms and crossbows. But redemption monks are in for Alexander, and I don't think GaeLife anticipates this. The mango is now being converted, and he's gonna have to delete that or give it over. And there it is. It goes over to the opponent. Oh, disaster for him. Eats a shot to the face as well on these conquistadors, and that has to be horrible for morale. He's now getting bloodlines. Get those conks a little bit tankier. He's got a second to see of his own down in the lowlands. At least he's getting a little bit of map control, but the villager discrepancy is just brutal at this point. 30 wills apart and no way of pressuring the opponent's base whatsoever. At least the resources in there are going to run out rather soon. There's really no gold anymore. That last tile here, 200 left on that. That's all that Alexander has, I believe. He's going to have to push down in the middle at some point. Loses all of his monks, doesn't even get a conversion there. So that is a relatively nice trade for GaeLife in terms of the monks, but I don't like the way he's extending this trade. He's going to lose all conquistadors here, isn't he? If not all, he's going to lose most of them as more skirmishers start coming out of the archery range. I don't like this trade here. I like the initial one against the monks. Now he's committed unnecessarily deep into this for my liking. Well, he micros down the army entirely, but resource-wise, I can't imagine this is worth it. Look at the numbers there in terms of eco. It's just getting worse and worse for the Spanish here. Well, he's in now. Still, for some reason, bothers with these skirmishes. He should just go onto villagers now. Man, this is not what we like to see. Second archery range coming up, more skirmisher production, presumably. That's the last surviving conquistador. Hernan Cortes riding home to tell the tale. It's not going to be a particularly pretty one for his people. And the castle for Alexander will be attempted down here in the middle to get a foothold to get back onto gold, because of course his gold at home has run out and he's only got 200 left in the bank. Maybe a little bit late on the transition into the middle, but really all he needs to push down there is skirmishers. So gold isn't required at this very moment. Ballistics also massively important to being able to chase down the conquistadors and actually land your shots. This I don't like. Oh, don't hit this castle. Oh, don't hit this. Don't hit this. He's gonna need more conks or more skirmishers and more villagers down here to get this castle to go up. Otherwise the conks will just kill it. Gotta be careful on that. Oh, okay, more skirmishers are being brought and so are the villagers. So good choice by him. He's up roughly 35 eco units at this point and much closer to Imperial Age than his opponent. In fact, we're not even 2 minutes away from it as he's making that castle down in the middle. And the villagers, there might not be Spanish villagers, but they're still getting this castle up fast enough. And all these conquistadors, they might be dying here, trying to destroy the castle. But it's not going to be enough. And Team Romania, my goodness, 3-0 in this tournament. Picking up this victory here as well. Wow, 2-0 is the sweep of this series. I really gotta say, it hasn't worked out well for Team France. They've got some real unfortunate turns of events in this series, so I expect better showings from them in the future here. Yeah, just got a bit unlucky in both of these games. Mihai and Alexander punishing extremely well, and whoops, 2-0 in this series improves their overall score to 3-0, so they only have one series left to play, and if they win that, they'll secure first place in this tournament high-elo bracket. And in fact, that series, that last series for them against El Dinero and El Matador, I'm going to cast next here on the stream. So I'll end the stream for just a few minutes, just for the YouTube upload. Actually, that makes it easier that way. So the stream will end for just a few minutes, and then I'll come back with Mihai aleksanderG against El Matador and El Dinero. So stay tuned for that if you're on YouTube. Just check out the next video in the playlist. It'll be that one. And of course can also check out the other playlists on my channel with casts from other tournaments or even from other games if you're interested in that. Thanks for joining here on Twitch as well. And as I said, it's going to be just a few minutes until the next series will be cast, where Maybe we'll get to know the winner of this high-elo bracket already. Or maybe, if Mihai and aleksanderG are being upset, then the race for first place will still be wide open.